Attention, attention, all personnel. Incoming podcast. This is MASH Matters.
Happy New Year. We're back for another episode of MASH Matters.
For all acquaintance we forgot and never brought to mind. I just thought I'd open with a song, you know.
It's nice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm Ryan Patrick, and this is Jeff Maxwell. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Ryan Patrick. This is Jeff Maxwell. Still, no matter what you try and do, it is still Jeff Maxwell.
And we are here to bring you the long-awaited Season 9 recap. We've got a lot of interesting trivia about these different episodes. We have some great listener comments. And I think we should just jump right into it. What do you say?
So there were 9 seasons? I thought there were only 7. Really? Maybe I could be wrong.
Yeah, there's a couple more, but
okay.
Let's not get into the math of MASH right now. We're just going to talk right now about Season 9, which was shorter than other seasons. It was 20 episodes instead of the usual 24 episodes. And this is because of the 1980 Writers Guild of America strike. Jeff, do you have any memories about that time, about the WGA strike and its effect on MASH?
I thought it was just because the writers were lazy ass and they just kind of didn't want to. I'm tired. Let's quit. I didn't know it was a strike. Is there a strike? Really?
That's what I've read. Yeah.
Oh, be darn. Well, I'm sorry to you writers. All these years, apologize. So I guess, no, I don't have any memory of the strike. I just thought they were lazy writers, like all writers. Oh, no. I'm just kidding. Not all writers.
That's Jeff Maxwell, care of MASH Matters. So we don't have as many episodes to talk about today, just 20 episodes, but that's still a lot. So we're going to jump in. But first, here are some listener comments just about Season 9 overall.
Paul, we don't know where Paul is, right? We don't know, like Paul in Cincinnati.
I don't know where he is right now. No.
Okay.
Wherever you are, Paul, I hope you're well.
Paul says, Season 9, wow, I never realized just how loaded this season is until I stopped and looked at it through this lens. It's like opening a Foot Locker and discovering it's stuffed with A-plot gems and killer B-plots. Honestly, picking favorites from this season feels like trying to triage patients during incoming choppers. Too many great ones coming in at once. Any other season I'm game to play, but this one, the entire season, mic drop. Who is Mike Drop anyway?
He's a good guy. Him and Mike Stan are two great guys.
They must be brothers. If choosing 1 or even 3 episodes, sorry, not happening. It's too much like choosing your favorite child. Ain't gonna happen.
Well, Chuck has a different opinion about this season. He says, this is the season I began having a rough time with the show. The pithy wordplay begins to show up. And he gives the example of, you're the toast of the coast, Yost, which is in one of the episodes this season. He says that line is the worst of it. There are some decent ones in here, but I do feel this is where the show begins to show its age. Interesting.
Interesting, Chuck. Now, I don't agree, but I don't disagree on some of the things that you've said. Anyway, and I'm sure everybody wants to know why. Mark O'Neill, co-author of MASH, The Ultimate Fan Guide, says, as I've said before, it's a tale of 2 shows. For me, and this is just one man's opinion, MASH seasons 1 through 3 and MASH seasons 8 through 11 are 2 entirely different shows. 4 through 7 have varying degrees of earlier and latter seasons in them. Different writers, different producers, with the exception of Metcalf. That's Burt Metcalf. Mm-hmm. And I always have to say that. Something in my DNA. I can't say Metcalf. I have to say Mr. Burt Metcalf, executive producer. And according to one source, even the film stock changed in season 7 by William Jurgensen. I noticed it when season 7 was new and wasn't a fan of it. It had a less rich look to it, to me. Season 2 was definitely the gold standard.
Okay, interesting. We also have a voicemail from our favorite monologuist. Is that the right word? Monologist? I don't know how you pronounce that. Somebody who gives monologues. Mononucleosis.
Yeah,
yes, that's it. Here is an overview of MASH Season 9 from our friend John J. Cashman.
Happy New Year, Ryan and Jeff. This is John J. Cashman from the great state of New Jersey. Wanted to let you know I've listened to every episode of MASH Matters, and number 145 was definitely one of them. Anyway, I am enthused to offer a few thoughts on Season 9. The season started with a great episode, The Best of Enemies, which features one of 4 appearances by the fine actor Mako. In one appearance, he is one of the good guys, but in the other 3, he threatened Hawkeye with firearms. With friends like that, who needs enemies? Episode 2, the one about the letters from the school kids, that was interesting. It showed a lot of options for individual characters to be involved in different vignettes. One of the best of Season 9 was Episode 11, No Sweat. It showed a lot of subplots, all related to the heat and Colonel Potter's insomnia. It all culminated in Igor's fine handling of the fan in the mess tent. But as excellent as the MASH was, by Season 9, it seems like they had started to recycle some plot lines. For example, the episode Bless You, Hawkeye. While it's always great to see Sidney Friedman, it was not the first time Hawkeye's cheese had slipped off his cracker. And of course, it wouldn't be the last. Regarding the episode Bottoms Up, I won't enumerate all the previous episodes that used the practical joke plotline, but by Season 9, it was starting to wear thin. The Season 8 episode, April Fools, with Colonel Daniel Webster Tucker, was the best practical joke episode of the series and was a tough act to follow. Of course, the best part of the Bottoms Up episode was Igor's Emmy-worthy performance, dealing with the nurse going through withdrawal systems in the mess tent. My favorite humorous episode of Season 9 is number 13, No Laughing Matter. It was great to see Major Winchester dealing again with Colonel Baldwin, with Hawkeye having been banned from making wisecracks. My favorite scene in episode 14, Oh How We Danced, was Hawkeye doing his impression of Major Winchester on the phone. Episode 18, of course, was outstanding with fine performances by Patrick Swayze and William Christopher. A War for All Seasons is a fine episode, even though they fouled up the timeline a bit. And let's ignore the fact that a war that lasted 3 years presented about half a dozen Christmas episodes, because my favorite episode of Season 9, and one of the best dramatic episodes of the entire series, was Death Takes a Holiday. Both plot lines, the one with the wounded soldier and the one with Charles and Max, were excellent stories. In the meantime, I'm still waiting for Season 2 of Shoppers Casino. So Ryan and Jeffrey, take my advice. Pull down your pants and slide on the ice.
All right. Thank you, John, for your many thoughts on Season 9. Let's jump into it episode by episode, and it all begins with the first episode of Season 9, The Best of Enemies. This was written by Sheldon Bull and directed by Charles S. Dubin. It has a guest starring role for Mako, his 4th and final appearance on MASH. And the theme song is a little different this season. They vary it up a little bit. There's a trumpet and a synthesizer and tenor sax. It has more brass and fewer woodwinds. Couple of little goofs in this episode. After the Korean soldier dies, spoiler alert, you can still see his stomach moving in as he breathes. When the Jeep dies, you can see its stomach. When the Jeep dies, you can see a modern electrical tower in the background. Now, this one, I did not go back and rewatch the episode to see if it's there. Evidently, there's a crew member visible when Hawkeye, just after he's shot while he's driving the Jeep, there's a crew member on the side of the road. It looks like he's in a blue jacket, possibly holding some equipment. So that's something to look for.
It may have been me just, wishing I was in that episode. I don't know. Possible. It's possible.
Klinger is wearing his Toledo Mud Hens jersey, and the hat has a T on it. We always assumed that was a Toledo Mud Hens hat, but it's actually a Texas Rangers hat.
Wow.
I know, right?
Those head wounds are serious. We got to move them.
When'd you give me on this? Look. I work in a hospital. See, I work in a hospital. Just like a hand grenade's throw from here. Look, nobody will hurt you. You'll be fine. If we can get back to my Jeep, we go very fast down that road to the hospital. We can help him in no time. Take no time at all. Come on. All right. I'm not gonna move him. Okay, I'm not gonna move him. No moving. Look, I want to save him as much as you do. No point in everybody dying. Yeah, well, I think I get the picture even without subtitles. As long as he stays alive, I stay alive.
I will introduce the next episode, which is called Letters, written by Dennis Koenig, directed by Charles S. Dubin. And it's another one of those MASH famous Dear So-and-so episodes.
Yeah.
And it had notable guest stars such as Richard Paul as Captain Brainbridge, the lawyer sent to replace Winchester.
Yeah, Richard Paul was one of those that guy character actors. You're like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
Oh.
But you don't know their name.
Oh, yeah.
He starred on Carter County. He starred on Match Game, made many appearances, and had a lot of guest starring roles. He also played Reverend Jerry Falwell more than once in several different projects. And I think that's because he really looked like him. Yeah.
He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had a good Jerry Falwell look, didn't he? Yeah.
And then there's Larry Cedar, who plays the dying soldier in Margaret's Letter. He's another well-known character actor. He starred in Deadwood, but I remember him from my younger days from the PBS show Square One. And then, of course, our beloved Eileen Saki returns as Rosie.
Okay. That wasn't so long now, was it?
Can't live without me, huh?
I'm just a sucker for a handsome face.
Say, listen, let me tell you about my girl.
Yes.
We're getting married as soon as I get home. We grew up together. She's the prettiest girl I've ever seen next to you. Of course.
A few interesting facts about this. So the child asked Father Mulcahy if he ever saved a life. And while his answer is about Irving the dog, he forgets in season 5's Mulcahy's War, he did literally save a life. He operated on him in the back of the Jeep. So why he went to Irving the dog instead of the guy that he actually saved, I don't know. Speaking of that, dogs do not tolerate alcohol. So if you let Irving drink as much as he wants, Irving would likely be dead. Please, this is a public service announcement. Do not let your dog drink as much alcohol as it wants.
As I watched this episode, and I did earlier, I thought that very same thing. Wait a minute. If the dog drank as much alcohol as they let him drink, Father Mulcahy let him drink, Father Mulcahy would have had to have given him the last rites.
Exactly.
That dog clunked right over. You can't give a dog that much alcohol.
Yeah. This episode has a favorite Winchester moment, which is he receives the leaf as a gift from one of the kids.
Dear Virginia, it is with indescribable joy that I accept your gift. It is indeed testimony to the beauty that exists in all creation, but perhaps nowhere more than in a young girl's heart.
And we mentioned a few episodes back, there was an educational program where a script was published in a little newspaper that went out to schools. This was the episode. Letters was the episode.
And Loretta Swit's fingernails, folks. I know you were waiting for this. Loretta Swit's fingernails can be seen at over an inch long. Now, no nurse, especially a head nurse, would have fingernails that long. You can only imagine what could happen with fingernails that long while you're in your intestines. So that's a crazy thing that would.
So don't let your dog drink as much as it wants, and don't let your fingernails grow if you're going to be around your intestines.
Right. Right.
2 public service announcements so far.
Thank you.
And actually, Loretta's fingernails, you can see throughout the entire season, are just way too long. That was a Loretta thing. That was not a Margaret Houlihan thing. I guarantee. We do have a lot of listener comments about this episode.
Yes, Corey says, seeing the joy and excitement that simple letters from children brought to our beloved MASH characters is heartwarming and touching. The highlight of the episode is when Charles received the birch tree leaf that reminded him of autumn in New England. It was a tender, touching moment. We can all relate to the cherished memories of our youth.
Katie says, this season is just too good, and the top 2 everyone has named are definitely great, and we'll be talking about that here shortly. But for all the cast, the curves thrown at them, lobs thrown at them, and showing the utter miserableness of rain versus canvas tents, it's Letters.
Right. Proud to be a Yinzer on X, I particularly love the Letters episode, especially the change of demeanor of Charles when he gets a letter with a leaf in it. Also appreciated Hawkeye's struggle with responding to a letter he got about the fairness of war.
And Andrew says, I was just watching the letters episode and I couldn't help but notice that the leaf sent from one of the students was supposed to be from a birch tree, but it is clearly a maple leaf. Was this an oversight by the props department, or was it a symbol of something more devious? My pet theory is that another student, in an attempt to make Virginia, the letter writer, look foolish, switched the leaves before the letter was sealed. Props to Charles for ignoring the switcheroo and sending a heartfelt reply to his diminutive correspondent. Either way, I hope that Virginia grew up to be a world-class botanist and the leaf switcher dropped out of high school. Keep up the great work, and thanks for making me chuckle when we needed it the most.
Oh, that's wonderful. You know, proud to be a Yinzer. What is a Yinzer? We don't know what Yinzers are. Is that?
I think it's something about Pittsburgh fans, Pittsburgh sports fans.
Oh, okay. Hey, yo, go Yinzers. Is that maybe what it was?
I don't know.
Or are those the knee pads that hockey players wear? It could be. Don't forget your Yinzers when you go. Oh, yeah, I won't. And, you know, Hawkeye struck, you know, I just throw this out. I know we got a lot of letters to read.
No, go ahead.
Hawkeye struggle with the letter. You know, I got to tell you, that got to me a little bit. I wanted to kind of slap him and say, grow up. You know, get a life here, buddy. He really had to, I mean, this is a surgeon who's been seeing people die for umpteen years and is in the testings and things. Suddenly he's falling apart. And I had a problem with that. I'm just saying.
Have you addressed this with Alan?
Let me call him now.
Okay, all right.
Margaret, get me Alan on the phone, please.
Next up in the season 9 is Cementing Relationships, written by David Pollock and Elias Davis. This was their first MASH script and directed again by Charles S. Dubin. It features notable guest star Joel Brooks as Corman Ignazio Di Simone. Joel Brooks is a character actor for forever. I mean, I remember him in almost everything. Did see a little fun fact about him. In 1976, he was a contestant on the $10,000 or $20,000 pyramid, whatever it was then. And he won $10,000 on that. His celebrity partner was Lucy Arnaz. 12 years later, in 1988, Lucy Arnaz and Joel Brooks were both featured as the week celebrities on the Pyramid Show. So isn't that interesting? He plays with her and then he plays against her.
Yeah. That Joel, he gets around. Boy.
So 2 comments here. One, why are the surgeons putting in the cement floor?
Right.
I mean, come on. You've got all kinds of enlisted personnel around camp.
Yes.
And yet you entrust this with the most important hands in camp.
Yes.
And you're going to make them put in the cement floor. What the heck?
Yeah. What the heck? I said exactly what I would have said. What the heck? What? And, you know, I didn't see anybody with long fingernails doing that either. So what the heck?
Right. My other comment on this episode, and boy, I have a love-hate relationship with this episode. And it really centers around the character of Ignacio Di Simone, played by Joel Brooks. And it's no fault of Joel Brooks. The character drives me up the wall. And every time he's on screen, it just takes me completely out of the episode.
May I agree with you?
You may.
I agree with you 1,000%. He does. He, you know, love him to death.
Yeah.
Terrific actor. Does great. But boy, you want to say, shut up.
Oh,
give me a break. Yeah, please tone it. Just bring it back a second.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I agree. You know, sorry, Joel, if you're listening.
Yeah. If you're listening, Joel, we'd love for you to be on the show sometime if you want to. Maybe not now.
Come on and talk about what a miserable job you did with that. No, I mean, what a...
No, he was very convincing as this very annoying Italian soldier.
Yes.
You know, that's the thing is the character itself.
Yes.
Even if it was played by somebody else. Again, it's not Joel Brooks is not the problem. The character is the problem. And that character takes me out of this episode.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, the character was just too voluptuous. They wanted, come on, be aggressive. And it was not Joe. It could have been anybody. Could have been me. Could have been anybody in that role. But gosh, it just, oh boy.
Margarita, mi amore.
I'm not your mi amore, and you're supposed to be in post-op.
How can I be in post-op when my heart is here?
But your heart is off limits, soldier.
Why for you drive me crazy like this? You say I cannot kiss you with other people's around. So I come here, you drag me into your tent and say I cannot kiss you with no other people's around. You are toying with me like a cat with a dead moose.
You misunderstand. I wasn't trying to encourage you.
Desdemona does not need encouragement. You have filled the tank of my Ferrari.
No, you're just on the rebound from Angela.
She is nothing. She is a child. But you are a woman, ma bellissima.
No. As an officer of the United States Army, I am ordering you to bed. No, your bed.
Paige says, I think Joel Brooks as the corpsman was just great. He was amazingly accurate.
Paige said. That is not. You're getting us in trouble with Joel Brooks. Just read what Paige said.
Paige says, I think my favorite is cementing relationships. It just lives rent-free in my head as a subversion of everyone's positions. Klinger in charge is just amazing. And the true joy the doctors have with the new floor is great. A wonderful mix of funny and realistic.
And Chief Smash Forever on X says, a lot of people don't really show the episode much love, but watching the cast pour the floor and work to do it for some reason, I enjoy a ton. All right. Well, there you go. Notice nobody mentioned Ignazio Di Simone as the reason they liked that episode. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold up. Oh, Margaret, what? Joel is here? Okay, hang on 1 second. Let me.
Oh boy. Oh, this is awkward.
Joel.
Okay.
Joel, sit down. We'll be through in a minute. Oh, get on. Hold on. I got to read it. I got to go down. I don't know. Shut up.
Oh boy. We're never going to hear the end of that one.
Yeah.
Whew.
Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. Oh, Joel's attorney is on the phone. Okay, hang on. I won't answer.
Oh, this might be the last season recap we ever do.
Yes, sir, folks. Klinger's magic elixir cures any kind of infection. 1 part cement, 4 parts sand, and 6 parts gravel.
Oh, no. Tell me you didn't say 6 parts gravel.
I said 6 parts gravel because you said 6 parts gravel.
I never said 6 parts gravel in my life. In my life, I said 4 parts sand, 3 parts gravel.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. We have just laid 240 cubic feet of oatmeal.
What is it? Mr. Cement Mixer Putty here.
Klinger, is this not your crayon?
This screw-up is on your shoulders, Captain. I mean, you made me a foreman. You let me be the foreman.
Yeah, well, you blew it.
How could you make such a...
Next up in season 9 is Father's Day, written by Mike Farrell, John Rappaport, and Karen Hall, and directed by Alan Alda. Interesting fact, this episode aired December 8th, 1980, which is the night that John Lennon was shot and killed.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. I don't think that the episode had anything to do with it.
Yeah.
So a few notable guest stars. We have Andrew Dugan. Is it Dugan or Duggan? It's 2 G's, so it'd be Duggan?
I think it's Dugan. Try it. Give it a fourth.
You say Dugan, I say Duggan.
Okay, yeah.
Let's call the whole thing off. Anyway, he plays Colonel Alvin Howitzer Houlihan. He has over 200 screen credits between 1949 and 1987. And in reality, he is only 14 years older than Loretta Swit.
Whoa.
Can you believe that? Because, man, he looks a lot older
Yeah, he
than
sure
her.
does.
Yeah. Also, Jeffrey Kramer shows up as Sergeant Ronnie Moorgrove. He is best known as Deputy Hendricks in Jaws and Jaws 2. And we've actually talked with Jeffrey about seeing if he can come on the podcast. So maybe this year, maybe this is the year. And then Art LaFleur as the MP. He is a well-known character actor, best known for playing Babe Ruth in the film The Sandlot.
Listen, Colonel, my daughter knows that I love her. After all, I came halfway across the world to see her, didn't I? That should say it all.
It doesn't say enough when all you can do is find fault.
What are you talking about?
Well, for starters, walking out on her in the middle of OR didn't exactly boost her morale.
That had nothing to do with Margaret.
Then what did it have to do with? Was it the doctor's tomfoolery? Was it the blood? Let me tell you something, Alvin. I've seen tougher birds than you who couldn't take it.
But it shouldn't happen to me.
You mean you'd let Margaret think she's a failure rather than admit you were about to lose your lunch? You'd rather crush her feelings than let on you're human like the rest of us?
Colonel.
You're so busy being Howitzer Al Houlihan, you can't even let your own daughter know you love her?
I thought I loved Andrew Dugan. He was throughout his whole career, he's done some amazing, wonderful parts and wonderful shows.
Well, it's interesting. Harry Morgan and Andrew Dugan played Presidents Truman and Eisenhower, who were both presidents during the Korean War, in an NBC miniseries called Backstairs of the White House just a year before this episode aired.
Wow. How about that?
The most interesting thing about this episode, Father's Day, is that in earlier seasons, Margaret mentions that her dad is dead.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's showbiz. Dad's dead. Dad's not dead. Dad may be dead.
Nope.
Dad's Dugan may be dead. We don't know. Let's throw it in there, see if anybody sees it.
Nobody will notice. Nobody's going to do a podcast about this show and bring it up 50 years from now. Just do it.
And Marie happens to say, Father's Day. I think Andrew Dugan is perfect in the part. He has such a brooding, menacing presence. He is quiet and strict, can't hug his daughter, and then just explodes in anger. You really get a sense of why Margaret is as closed off as she is and feels like she is a constant disappointment to him. It also explains her fear of loud noises. Maybe that's all about her father's sudden exploding rage. His mere physical appearance next to Loretta Swit truly makes her look so young and small, too. And the way her whole body just shines with joy when she finally gets some recognition from him is one of the most beautiful moments in the entire series to me. And also, nice Daddy Potter. I love his ability to see beyond the facade and call Margaret's dad out on his behavior.
I may not have said it often enough, but I am proud of you. Hey, listen.
Thank you, Dad.
I think I can arrange to be in Tokyo sometime next month. Eh? Would you come see me? I'd love it.
Oh, Dad. Oh, you bet I will. You bet I will.
Goodbye, Mark.
Goodbye, Dad.
So the next two episodes that we're about to discuss were overall, bar none, it's not even close. The consensus is that these are the two most favorite episodes from this season. The first is Death Takes a Holiday. This is written by Mike Farrell, John Rappaport, Dennis Koenig, Thad Mumford, Dan Wilcox, and Burt Metcalf. My goodness, what a smorgasbord of writers there.
They needed two more writers just to make it. And I pronounced Dennis Koenig's name incorrectly before I said Dennis Koenig, which I hope other people do that same mistake. But
did I just say the right way or the wrong way? I don't know.
I think you said it the right way.
Koenig?
It's Dennis Koenig, yeah.
Koenig, okay. Directed by Mike Farrell. Did I say that right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's Dennis. Yeah.
This is, of course, a beloved Christmas episode. Colonel Potter becomes the third and final member of the 407th to play Santa Claus after we say Hawkeye as Santa in Dear Dad and BJ in Dear Sis. And it features a notable guest star, Key Luke, as Choi Sung-ho. Key Luke, a legendary character actor. This was his third and final appearance on the series.
Adrenaline, 1 to 10,000.
No. It's over. Let him rest.
Never fails to astonish me. You're alive, you're dead. No drums, no flashing lights, no fanfare. You're just dead. I'll get the death certificate.
Look, you made it. Time of death, 12:05, December 26th.
Falsify a record.
Christmas should be thought of as a day of birth.
That'll be a first for me.
War's full of firsts.
And lasts.
Shannon says, Death Takes a Holiday. That's the episode that still, to this day, makes my dad cry. He isn't a man to cry over books, TV, or movies, but whenever he recalls Death Takes a Holiday, he gets choked up. There's something about how very little gets to my dad to show raw emotion, but that episode consistently does that, and I hold it very dear.
Hogna says, most likely Death Takes a Holiday solely because of David Ogden Steyer's magnificent performance. I've never really bought the premise of the main story, though. So what if the dad died on Boxing Day? Christmas would still be a constant remembrance of his death. I find it hard to believe that they would have to spend plasma and resources on keeping an almost DOA patient alive. Having said that, the performances in this episode are really good, and of course, the scene between Klinger and Charles is wonderful.
Kevin says, Death Takes a Holiday is, in my opinion, the greatest episode of the entire series. It has all the elements, the humor of the team, their dedication to their work, the horror of war, the range of emotions and moral ethical dilemmas each character faces. It is sad, poignant, at times funny, and equal parts gut-wrenching and heartwarming. BJ, Hawkeye, and Margaret working to prevent a family from thinking of Christmas as a day of loss is an amazing storyline. Potter and Father Mulcahy's moments in that process are essential, especially when Mulcahy lectures BJ about their duties. The parallel plot of the orphans and Charles' secret gift, an honor to his father, and Klinger finding out about it is an homage to the gift of the Magi. The scene where Klinger lets Charles know he knows is maybe the most emotional of any in the show's run, which is saying something. The simple exchange, thank you, Max, Merry Christmas, Charles, always gets me. If somebody were to ask me for one episode that encapsulates why MASH is what it is, this would be the one show I would show them.
Yeah, Lance feels the same way. He says, it's one of my favorite episodes of MASH. Not only is the story compelling and poignant, but there is one exchange in particular that really sticks out. The way David Ogden Steyer says the line, thank you, Max, and Jamie Farr's reply, Merry Christmas, Charles, hits me in the feels every time. It's remarkable how 6 words can be delivered with such warmth, compassion, and honesty. And I just have to say, I agree wholeheartedly. That moment between Charles and Klinger is my favorite moment of the entire episode.
Well, wait a minute. Okay, so it's a great moment, but they had like 15 writers. Come on, give me a break. They should have had a great moment.
Each writer took one word.
One word, yeah.
And then they all put them together.
And that Mike Farrell, who directed it, did a great job with it.
Yeah.
Major Winchester, the party of what? Dinner is served.
What is this?
Well, let me see. For your appetizer, the last of the macadamias, followed by a mixed grill of Lebanese salami, sugar-cured ham, pig's feet, and hog jowls. We have seconds on those. Sorry, sir. No smoked oysters. I just smoked the last one.
But
and for dessert, Frisco fudge and nutty fruitcake.
All laced with hemlock, I'm sure.
Sorry, sir, no hemlock. But I can get you some ketchup.
And what, pray tell, is the catch for the day?
Oh, just one catch, Major. The source of this Christmas dinner must remain anonymous. It's an old family tradition.
Thank you, Max.
Merry Christmas, Charles.
And the other episode that received as much love as Death Takes a Holiday is A War for All Seasons. Written by Dan Wilcox and Thad Mumford, directed by Burt Metcalf. This was MASH's 200th episode broadcast on CBS. And we have yet another format-busting episode. This is covering the events of an entire year in less than 30 minutes. But as beloved as this episode is, this takes the MASH timeline and puts it through a wood chipper. Nothing makes sense. This episode takes place throughout the year 1951. We know that because at the very beginning of the episode is the New Year's Eve party from 1950 into 51. However, Potter doesn't arrive in camp until September 19th, 1952. We know that in Change of Command. BJ arrives in camp exactly 1 week before Potter arrives, so he would also have arrived in September 1952. Bobby Thompson's home run happens October of 1951, but in Radar's report, that episode, the date is given as October 17th, 1951, while Frank and Trapper were still at the 4077. Okay? I know.
Okay. It just says that the writers are lazy and they drink heavily. That's all I'm going to say.
Maybe they were still on strike at this point.
Could have been.
So there are other events, and again, the timeline. May 1952 is when Ted Williams goes to Korea. That's a plot line in Mad Dogs and Servicemen. The Novocaine Mutiny takes place in October of 1952. The Late Captain Pierce takes place in December 1952. The Most Unforgettable Characters takes place in 1953. Frank Burns would have been there for all of that. If the show stuck to the actual real Korean War timeline, Frank Burns would have been out by June of 1953, and Winchester would have only been in camp for about 2 to 4 weeks. But all that aside, this is such a great episode. And again, so beloved by so many. We have the big 4th of July scene, Jeff, where you cream the corn.
Where's the corn?
You're looking at it, the mushy stuff.
You creamed it. You Minnie!
I was just trying to be helpful. Next 4th of July, you can eat it on the cob for all I care.
And I creamed the corn. Yes, I did.
Yes.
I was delighted to cream the corn, too. Why not? Otherwise, it gets stuck in your teeth, getting it off the cob. And I was trying, like I said, I was trying to be helpful to make it easier to eat.
You know, a lot of hate goes towards Igor in that episode, especially from Father Mulcahy. But I don't think that really he did anything wrong. He made it easier. I think he made it easier for everybody to have more corn.
Yes.
Oh, you have only a limited number of cobs.
Right.
But if you take the corn off of the cob, you have unlimited corn.
You kind of like this podcast, actually. There's unlimited corn to this cob podcast.
It is in this episode.
Yeah. No, it's true. And Igor was slightly hurt, and that's why he was so angry about it. He thought he was doing something nice, and especially for the father who grew old. He thought he was being helpful. And then all of a sudden to get this kind of snotty attitude, of course Igor is going to be angry about it. He threw his thing and he was hurt. This is back to the Robert De Niro essence you see in Igor. That you see that. Everybody sees it, don't you? I mean, everybody.
You know, now that I think about it, I can't tell a difference.
Thank you. Very few people can.
That was you in Taxi Driver, right?
I don't want to give it away right now.
Okay. All right.
Later.
Okay. A few more nitpicks here about the corn.
Yeah.
So early 1951, Father Mulcahy plants this cornfield. The cornfield throughout the show gets bigger and bigger. It's showing the year as it's progressing. However, MASH is a mobile Army surgical hospital. They have to move on many occasions. They have to bug out. You can't take a cornfield with you. So this suggests that they did not move at all throughout 1951.
Now, you could move creamed corn. We're back to
exactly.
It being so helpful that a big vat of creamed corn, you could bug out and bug back. But obviously, the growing thing.
Igor was just trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
When the Giants win the pennant, Winchester drops his baseball cap to the ground, and just a minute later, it shows him fainted and laying on his back, but the cap is in his hand and being held to his chest. So he would have had to have picked it back up and then fainted for that to happen. And the only other nitpick is, okay, it's 4th of July. I get it. You have a picnic, you have a celebration, but you're in a war zone. Are you really going to be shooting fireworks in a war zone?
Great point. Yeah, really. Here's where we are, everybody. Here, you want to shoot missiles to us? Here's where we are. And plus that, where did they get all these wonderful fireworks?
I don't know.
Yeah.
They probably got him from the Sears catalog. That was a big part of the plot line.
Oh, yes, could have been.
But again, all nitpicks aside,
yeah,
great episode and many listener comments on this one as well.
Michael says, a war for all seasons for me. I liked the Charles Klinger wager on the Dodgers and Mulcahy having a camp picnic with the corn he planted. Jeff, despite what Mulcahy told Igor, he is not a ninny. Fun episode. Can I ask a question? Let me interrupt myself just for a minute here.
Sure.
What is a ninny? Is there an actual definition of a ninny? I'm not sure what a ninny is.
Let's consult the dictionary here.
Look this up.
According to the Oxford Dictionary,
yes,
ninny is a silly or foolish person.
Oh, okay. Well, I accept that. Yeah.
But that's probably like the highest level of insult from Father Mulcahy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's not going to say what he really wants to say.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's interesting. And I never knew that.
Well, now you do.
I know what a ninny is. Now I know I'm a ninny.
John, and by the way, there are a lot of listener comments from guys named John.
Really?
In season 9. Yeah. And they're not all the same John. So John says,
I've heard there are a lot of Johns around town. Hey.
John says, A War for All Seasons is my favorite season 9 episode, even with the continuity issues with the MASH timeline. I love how they incorporated the Sears catalog into the story too, although they clearly cut the scene where Private Igor searches the catalog for a new pair of Skechers.
John, you're a comedy writer. I like that. You're right. Absolutely. They cut that scene. Seth says, one of the earliest episodes I remember watching when it first aired. Obviously, it does not work with the timeline of the show, but so what? My dad was a New York Giants fan while my mom loved the Brooklyn Dodgers, so I think my dad liked it more.
And Evelyn says, bravo to all who were involved in bringing this gem of an episode to life.
Cox tied in the bag at third. Oh, boy. 4-2 Dodgers. Bottom of the ninth. 1 out, 2 on. Here we go.
Knock it down his throat, Bobby.
Oh, was that nice?
I got 10 smackers writing on this.
Bobby takes a strike call on the inside corner.
Killian!
And coming up there with his best.
God rest his soul.
Splendid! Come on, Bobby! The check of the runners. Set. The pitch. Swung on. It's home run. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants win the pennant. 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 The Giants win the pennant.
Next up, Your Attention Please, written by Eric Tarloff, directed by Charles S. Dubin, featuring guest stars Barry Corbin as Sergeant Vickers. Now, Barry Corbin, best known for his role as Maurice on Northern Exposure. He is a legendary character actor with hundreds of screen credits. He also appeared in films like Stir Crazy, Urban Cowboy, No Country for Old Men, War Games, and so many more. He has been most recently seen in Yellowstone and Tulsa King. And then you have Sam Wiseman as Barney Hutchinson. He is the corpsman who was the male nurse back in the States. Sam is best known as a film director and producer. He directed D2, The Mighty Ducks, George of the Jungle, Bye Bye Love, The Out-of-Towners, and more. So yeah, I guess he decided to step out of the acting side and go into directing.
Yeah.
Hey, what's all the hugga-mugga?
Don't ask me. I was telling him about Army opportunities, and he jumps me.
Don't give me that opportunities bull. I'm a registered nurse, just like all these women here. But when they came into the Army, they were made officers automatically. I should have been too, but they made me a lousy private. The Army won't recognize me as a nurse because I'm a man, so I spend half my time pushing a stupid broom.
He's right, you know.
This man's army is very discriminating.
Yeah, you bet it is. You got a lot of nerve, buddy.
Look, pal, I don't make the rules around here. If the service isn't your cup of joe, fine. I'm not here to Shanghai anybody.
Why bother? There are plenty of other fish in the barrel.
Couple of little nuggets here. Colonel Potter is seen reading the book Ride the Man Down. He has been reading this book since season 4.
Slow reader, that
Potter
man.
is a slow reader. And just a little side note here, the U.S. Army Nurse Corps did not accept male nursing officers until 1955, 2 years after the end of the Korean War.
Carl says season 9 has too many good episodes to choose just one, but I'll name one not mentioned yet. Your attention, please. I chortle every time Klinger delivers the line about losing Laverne and his best friend Gus in one sentence. Plus, it has Barry Corbin in a fun role before he went down the path of Northern Exposure, Alaska's least favorite show.
I did not know that the show was not well received in Alaska.
I wonder if Carl lives in Alaska.
You ever have your best friend stab you in the back?
Not since the Army became my best friend.
You ever suddenly feel that you're lost? That there's no place left for you to go?
I used to. That was before the Army became my home.
Oh? Really?
Sure. Think about it. The Army feeds you, clothes you, gives you a place to sleep. Every guy in khaki is family.
Oh, that's beautiful, Joey.
The Army is beautiful.
To the Army.
Max, you've got character. I wouldn't make this offer to just anybody.
What kind of an offer?
What you need is an anchor. Something that won't run out on you. You know what I'm talking about?
The Army.
Hey, you're way ahead of me, Max. Did you ever think about re-enlisting?
Where do I sign?
Moving on, Season 9, Tell It to the Marines, written by Hank Bradford, directed by Harry Morgan, which is probably why Potter is absent through most of this episode. We have notable guest stars Michael McGuire as Lieutenant Colonel Mulholland. He began his career on Broadway, had guest starring roles in The $6 Million Man, Rockford Files, Columbo, Kojak, Taxi, Family Ties, All in the Family, Newhart, West Wing, and many more. He also played snobby Professor Sumner Sloan, who was Diane's fiance in the first episode of Cheers.
Wow.
He dumps her in Boston and leads to her taking the waitress job at the bar. So without Michael McGuire, we would not have had Cheers.
Wow. Interesting.
We also have Stan Wells as Private Joost von Leiter. He guest starred in several projects starting in 1979. He was been in films like Hellbound and Rhinestone. And he's had a gap in his acting career. He had a gap between 88 and 2015 when he appeared in a short film called Signs Everywhere as Man in Overcoat. Hey, it's acting. It's a part, you know?
It's a part, yeah.
This is the episode that was mentioned earlier. I think it was Chuck who had feelings about You're the Toast of the Coast, Yost.
Mm-hmm.
This is the episode where that sad line takes place. And you're talking to a guy who really appreciates good wordplay, but You're the Toast of the Coast, Yost is a bit much. One little nugget here, when Hawkeye and BJ are talking to the reporter on the press train, you can see a calendar on the wall between the two windows. That calendar is for January 1976.
It's amazing all these little things that got past people.
Well, I'm sure too, at the time when this was, produced in 1980, they're thinking, nobody's going to have high definition 4K television in the future to be able to see every word.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of talented people watching for these little problems too. And human beings are human beings, and there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
It takes a bunch of people to write them, and then you got to get it down and up on its feet, and all the crew and 100 people in the room and stuff going on, and it's a very, very controlled havoc.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why these things, unfortunately, sometimes happen. But it's fun to talk about 50 years later.
Exactly.
And by the way, Ken says, Tell It to the Marines was great in showing how Hawkeye was able to make a fool out of the Marine colonel who only cared about getting his recruit back because he was so bent on winning the war.
And Jessica says, Tell It to the Marines is my favorite because it mentions my hometown of Tacoma, Washington. And my dad and I were very excited to hear the mention of Tacoma in one of our favorite TV shows. This happened shortly before my dad was diagnosed with colon cancer, and after he passed, I spent a few years trying to find this episode since I didn't know what the episode title was at the time. When I was able to eventually find this episode, I was elated, and for a moment, it felt like I was watching MASH with my dad again.
Okay, we've done it. They've done it. We just got off the phone with Murray Thompson.
Is that the man who wrote the article?
The man who wrote the well-written article.
Get on with it, Pierce.
Okay, everybody. All those who are wounded, whose mothers are facing deportation, and who never expect to see them again, raise your hands. Not so fast, Van Leader. The Dutch Consul General in San Francisco read your story in the paper and hired your mother as a secretary. Now she has diplomatic immunity.
What does that mean?
It means she can't be deported. When you're discharged from the Marines, she'll still be in San Francisco.
Oh, that's terrific.
What a blessing. Oh, that is wonderful. I have all of you to thank for this, especially you, Dr. Pierce.
Just think of it as a Dutch treat.
All right, moving on. We have Taking the Fifth, written by Elias David and David Pollock, directed by Charles S. Dubin, features notable guest star Charles Hallahan as Corporal Colin Turnbull. He is the Canadian soldier who trades Klinger, the French wine. He is another recognizable character actor, best known for his role as Captain Charlie Devane in the NBC series Hunter. 8 days before he appeared in this episode, he appeared as a cop on Trapper John M.D.
Wow.
There's a lot of talk about curare in this episode. Potter mentions that the U.S. Army had recently banned the use of curare for medical unions. However, in real life, the U.S. Army never approved the use of curare in the first place. I'm surprised that slipped through.
Yeah.
With a focus on keeping it medically accurate,
Mm-hmm.
I am surprised that one fell through.
Curare. I had some this morning with my eggs, and it's not all that it's cracked up to be, frankly. So
eggs cracked up. I get it.
Thank you. Thank you. I knew you would. If anybody else did, I hope so. But I knew you were going to get it.
Hello, what's this? Hold that. You have a 47 Margot.
No, I have a 47 DeSoto. I always buy American.
No, this is chimney sweep. This is an individual with a life all its own. Little Chili, born of the loins and suckled at the bosom of the Omedoc.
Sounds like what went on in the back seat of your DeSoto.
Will you two stop prattling? This is a rare nectar. People would give their lives for this. I'll give you $20.
$20 for that stuff?
All right, 25.
Please, I wouldn't trade this for love or money. Well, definitely not for money.
Then where, pray tell, did you get this ambrosia? From what cunning connoisseur?
Klinger.
Matt? Klinger? Same man who eats peas with a knife and sucks in his spaghetti?
That's right. The old spaghetti sucker himself.
Mark, I must find him. Oh, man!
John says, I love Taking the Fifth for including the Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry and acknowledging the over 26,000 members of Canada's armed forces who fought in Korea and the 516 who fell.
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Before you pour the wine,
Yeah.
there's something that's bothered me.
Bothered. Wait till we get to Bewitched and Bewildered.
No, Hawkeye, I realize. It's just that I don't know if I'm woman enough for you.
Wait a minute. What is this? Suddenly our little party is losing its intimacy.
This is such a wonderful moment. I just wanted to share it with some of my friends.
Yeah, but two's company. 30 is a crowd.
Oh, there's no way we would miss your wine and sleaze party. Palmer, you're terrific.
Thank you, Major. And thank you, Hawkeye.
Believe me, it was nothing.
Come on, give me one of those famous looks, Hawkeye.
Looks like the lovebirds eating crow.
Did you really think you could buy us with your expensive wine?
Well, looks like the drinks are on me. Not to mention the joke.
Oh, not at all. Your wildest fantasy has just come true. You've just been had by the whole nursing staff.
Operation Friendship is up next, written by Dennis Koenig. It was directed by Rena Down. Notable guest star Tim O'Connor as Captain Norman Traeger. He had recurring roles on General Hospital, Peyton Place, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. He specialized in playing officials, military men, and police officers. I believe that. This is his second appearance in MASH. He also played the angry Colonel Spiker in season 4's of Moose and Men.
If you didn't want a specialist, why'd you send for me?
A specialist?
Oh, did I forget to mention that I figured as long as we need a replacement for Honeycutt, it'd be a good idea to get somebody who could take care of him, too. So I called Tokyo General.
Well, excuse me. I'm BJ's doctor. I don't like you going behind my back.
Come now, Doctor. You're a professional. Surely you see the sense of bringing in an expert.
Now, wait a minute. Hold it. All of you. I don't need any expert. I don't need an amateur. I'm a doctor. I don't even need me. Now, why don't you just all get off my back?
Hold your horses and your tongues. Seems to be a wee bit of confusion as to who's playing what part in this little service comedy. Let me see if I got the roles right. Playing the injured party, B.J. Honeycutt. Playing the friend, a real strong, silent type, Hawkeye Pierce. And in a special guest appearance is the handyman, Dr. Norm Traeger. Dominating the screen as your leading man, Colonel Sherman Potter. Now, scene 1, the examination. Dr. Traeger, action.
The only little trivia I found for this is while recovering from his nose injury, Klinger has Winchester read him Mickey Spillane's I, the Jury out loud. That novel was published in 1947, but the paperback version that Charles is reading from was not published until the late 1950s.
Oh, wow.
Talk about a scandal.
Hold everything. Margaret, get me the scandal people, please. Immediately.
No listener comments on this one, so I guess nobody really likes this episode. I don't know.
Boy, that Tim O'Connor really angered people, I guess.
No Sweat is up next, written by John Rappaport, directed by Burt Metcalf. This features the classic Igor Charles fan scene in the mess tent.
Can you say that one more time?
This features the classic Igor Charles fan scene in the mess tent.
Oh, yeah. Wow, nice.
Hey, Major Winchester, what are you doing up so early?
I have a great deal of work to do, Igor, so if you don't mind... Oh, how much time before breakfast?
You still got an hour, Doc. Boy, I tell you, I don't mind having some company for a change. You probably don't know it, but every lousy day I gotta get up before reveille to get this joint ready. I'll tell you, this is about the hottest I've ever seen it here. Hey, you look like you've been through the ringer. And you know something? You're making it extra tough on yourself. This here fan ain't much help, but heck, every little bit counts. Ben!
Yeah, fun episode. Just a fun episode. Everybody can't sleep for various reasons because it's so hot. There is a scene when Charles comes in and asks Klinger for some carbon paper, and the MASH historian has a post about this. In the script, the scene is actually longer, so it's possible that some lines were cut for time, and we'll put a link in the show notes to that post where you can actually see the page from the script of the scene.
Scott says, some great candidates here. My favorite is No Sweat. The scene where Potter's and Margaret's conversation goes out over the PA with the camp laughing makes me laugh every time.
And Todd says, easily, obviously, and hands down, it's No Sweat because Margaret is sweating while wearing nothing but a t-shirt and shorts for most of the episode.
Oh!
Hey, calm down there, Todd. Calm down.
Ooh, Todd.
Mercy. Glands are flaring. Ooh, man.
Please try to understand. This is Margaret. I have a bad case of prickly heat, a severe irritation on my gluteus maximus.
Oh, I get it. A bad case of keister itch.
Well, you could call it that, sir.
I sure gotta sympathize with you on that one. Ain't nothing more bothersome than a case of the old fanny fungus. With all this heat, that cute little caboose of yours must be red as a beet.
Really, sir, I'd rather not talk about it.
I don't know how bad off your wazoo is, but I'll bet it don't come close to the rump rots I had back in the big war.
Sir, the jobber.
We were pinned down near Chantilly, and I was stuck for a whole damn night in a wet foxhole. I'll never forget it. No matter how many times you change your skivvies, the fire on the old back porch just keeps burning.
Sir, please, could you just call?
Must be hell for you trying to sit or sleep. You sure got...
Wait a minute. Is a stupid PA on? Klinger, you idiot!
picture. Wait. Oh, no, please don't. It took me 3 hours to fix that.
And now, depressing news written by Dan Wilcox and Thad Mumford, directed by Alan Alda, with a notable guest star, William Bogart, as Captain Maurice Allen, the journalist with Stars and Stripes. This is his second appearance on MASH, first appearing in season 8. Yes, sir, that's our baby, as the bureaucrat who won't let the Korean orphan be transferred to the States.
Yeah, very interesting that he was a completely different character just one season prior. Here we go again with MASH bringing back the same actors to play completely different people. And this is just one season later. I still don't understand why they kept bringing back the same people to play different people. This has a famous blooper. Hawkeye and BJ are walking across the compound, and Hawkeye can briefly be seen wearing bright blue Adidas tennis shoes from the 1980s. You cannot miss it.
Have you seen it? I have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you really can see.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
You cannot miss them.
Wow.
And according to the sources that I was pulling from, this is the first time we hear Igor's last name.
Interesting.
For some reason, I thought that was mentioned earlier. It's during the scene where Klinger is talking to Charles and says that Igor is going to write the gourmet column for his little newspaper, and Charles freaks out. Yeah, I guess that's the first time that his name was mentioned.
Wow, this is news to me. Well, our friend Brent says, depressing news. Klinger makes me laugh each and every time he did something with his MASH notes. Who said cooks need to know how to read? Reading is overrated when one can create such gourmet meals as a MASH unit. Hawkeye destroying the tongue depressor tower is a powerful representation that brings attention to both honoring soldiers and condemning war. Not only is depressing news my favorite of season 9, it's also one of my overall favorites.
Rick says, I love Klinger's get-rich-quick scheme in this episode and how the other characters react to it. But it's a shame that Igor didn't get a regular feature on gourmet cooking. I really like the main storyline of Hawkeye building the structure out of tongue depressors only to ultimately blow it up. And I think the Army information officer using the story for their own needs rather than for its true intention is reflective of today's attitudes.
Rick, I agree with you about the Igor not getting a regular feature on gourmet cooking. Well, anyway, Lily says, I think my favorite is depressing news. Hawkeye's monologue in the Officers Club is so well written and acted. Also, the tongue depressor monument and its subsequent destruction is such a deeply moving piece of art to me. And I always love a Klinger scheme.
Ben, you must really be proud of that whatchamacallit.
Well, actually, I think of it more as a big doohickey.
Well, let's get this show on the road.
Good idea. You take the picture and you write the 1,000 words.
Now, Ray, you get about 10, 15 feet from that contraption. Ben, you scoot right in next to it, and darned if we won't snap this, baby.
Oh, wait a minute, Maury. Let's not make any snap decisions here. I tell you, seeing that monument now, I mean, for want of a better word, just all by itself like that, up against the majesty of that purple mountain with those flags fluttering in the breeze like that, I mean, that's what it's all about, Why don't we just take the picture from here?
I hear you, Ben.
No?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Ray, let's make pictures.
Oh, wait. I want to make sure the breeze catches those flags just right. I'll tell you when to snap. Okay. Ready? Set.
Hey. What's all that yellow rope around there?
That's not rope, that's primacord. Go!
How was I?
Smash hit!
What is going on here?
Dateline Korea. Serious physician nixes sticks fix.
Ben, help me out here.
Yeah.
I'm lost here, Benny. Yeah. You spent 2 days and nights building that
thingamabob.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And now you've blown it to Kingdom Come? Yeah. What the devil for?
I think I can help you with that, guy. Senseless destruction. That's what it's all about. Get the picture?
Next up in season 9, No Laughing Matter, written by Elias Davis and David Pollock, directed by Burt Metcalf, with notable guest stars Eileen Saki returning as Rosie And Robert Simons returns as Colonel Horace Baldwin. Of course, Horace, this is his second appearance on the show as Horace Baldwin. He was the one who sent Winchester to the 4077th. He is a veteran of stage and screen. He had a recurring role of Dr. Jonas Edwards on Dynasty from 82 to 87. And he also played Robert E. Lee in the 1982 miniseries, The Blue and the Gray. Man, I remember all the hoopla around that miniseries. The only note I found on this, when Charles and Horace Baldwin are playing cribbage in the swamp, Charles says that Baldwin has erased his debt of $623. Adjusted for inflation, that would be around $7,800 today.
Wow.
That's a lot of cribbage.
Yeah. Chunk of change there. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Charles could afford it, though.
Yeah, that's good.
Attention all personnel. It is now 12:01, which means it's no longer today, it's tomorrow. This is Benjamin Franklin Burl, livening up your dead of night. Thanks to B.J. Honeycutt, I had a brief bout with Jocus Interruptus, but now I'm back to abnormal. So bear with me while I take care of some unfinished business. Hey, Igor, keeper of the public domain. Before you go to bed, don't forget to walk tomorrow's breakfast. And let me tell you something, Margaret. You always talk about the leather, but you never do anything about it. You know what I mean? And a big hello to Charles, our chief procurement officer. I guess you found out you can't get to Tokyo on the layaway plan. And the ever-popular Horace Baldwin is hereby awarded the Fig Leaf Cluster for service above and beneath the call of duty. But seriously.
Next up, Oh, How We Danced, written by Dennis Koenig and directed by Alan Alda. This one has notable guest stars Yuki Shimada as Ki Young Lu. This is his third and final appearance on MASH. He also appeared in The Price and Yes Sir, That's Our Baby. This episode aired just a few months before his death from colon cancer. We also saw Arlen Dean Snyder as Major Finch, Catherine Bergstrom as Peg Honeycutt, and Michael Cho-E as Soon Chu Lee. This is the child who played the harmonica. This is his only acting credit.
Wow. And we have to give a little shout out to Catherine Bergstrom, who played Peg Honeycutt, is married to that wonderful MASH writer, Alan Katz.
Yes.
A couple of great people.
The one little timeline thing here, BJ tells Winchester that the Battle of Porkchop Hill has been over for a month. That puts the timeline for this episode in the middle of 1953. And, we just celebrated New Year's 1952 a few episodes back. And, in the home movie, there's a frame photo of BJ with his mustache. Obviously, it looks like a studio taken 8x10 from the series because he didn't have a mustache when he arrived in Korea. So it wouldn't be like a photo that was taken at home.
No.
It's obviously taken by a studio photographer for publicity. I don't think that would be the photo that she would have on the mantle.
Yeah, probably not. Well, that mustache got around.
Boy, it sure did.
Where would you eat? Little place in Sausalito, maybe. Better still, a candlelight dinner at home.
Then we dance and talk and hold each other. BJ, I know that some film and tape can't actually replace the real thing, but this particular anniversary will always be special to me. Don't be sad, darling. Even though I can't be with you, the thought of you and the love I hear in your voice makes me realize how wonderful it'll be when we're together again. 10,000 miles can never separate us from the love we share. Happy anniversary, darling.
All right, son. Play it the way I taught you.
BJ, I know I'm not Peg, but will I do?
Rue says, I love watching the crew band together with Hawkeye scheming to help BJ celebrating his wedding anniversary, especially at the end when Margaret asking BJ to dance with her in place of Peg, since this is definitely something we wouldn't have seen in early seasons Margaret. To see the lovely Catherine Bergstrom as Peg is always a treat. The plot of Winchester, dealing with the Major Finch by learning karate from the grandfather, is so fun to watch as someone who has had years of training in martial arts. Something they got right for once is training barefoot. From what I was taught, it is more fluid and accurate when we kick, and our feet will be more stable on the ground, but I'm sure there is more to that. Though I'll say missed opportunity for the martial art to be Taekwondo, since MASH is set in Korea. Lastly, the search for Anharmonica never fails to make me laugh, as it's fun to watch the characters imitate each other, in this case Hawkeye imitating Winchester.
Lauren says, "Oh, How We Danced is a great way to honor BJ's character, celebrate his love for his family, and show Hawkeye and BJ's friendship. I know that watching video footage of your wife and child after not seeing them for ages must have been bittersweet, and Mike Farrell captured that feeling beautifully. It was fun to see the camp throw a party for the guy who plans all the parties, as in the stateside family get-together and the Red Party. Plus, we get Hawkeye's hilarious Charles impression."
Kira says, very touching, great ensemble piece, and in my opinion, some of Mike Farrell's best acting in the later years.
I just wonder, is Mike Farrell related to Mike Farrell, the director?
Boy, that's a good, we're going to have to look that up. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either.
Seems like he would be.
And I am sure, my pugnacious Major Finch, that you are cognizant that a military tribunal does not look favorably upon the felonious assault of an officer. I think I hurt my tongue. Of course I plan to press charges. Your pugilistic exhibition was both lugubrious and sedacious.
Sedacious?
I just made that up. What does he know? I intend to demand the gallows.
Can you do Jimmy Stewart?
Reconsider! Reconsider! You must be crazed. However, now that you broach the subject, there is one thing that could secure your freedom. I want an harmonica. You heard me, an harmonica. If you can't locate one in your unit, look elsewhere. You have 24 hours. Cure? Gentlemen.
Next up is Bottoms Up, and that was written by Dennis Koenig and directed by Alan Alda, with notable guest star Gail Strickland as Captain Helen Whitfield. She is another well-known character actress and many guest appearances on Mary Tyler Moore Show, The Bob Newhart Show, Cagney and Lacey, Highway to Heaven, Deep Space Nine, ER, Seinfeld, and more. She also appeared as the public defender in the pilot episode of Night Court, but that part was recast when the series was picked up, so she got kicked off the show. Yeah.
Oops.
Here we go with another example of the MASH trope featuring a nurse that we've never seen before and will never see again. Comes to town, just happens to be Margaret's best friend, and then just disappears.
And that's showbiz.
This features the scene in the mess tent when Captain Whitfield has the attack of the DTs. DT stands for delirium tremens, which is a severe, potentially fatal form of alcohol withdrawal that occurs when alcoholics who suddenly stop or drastically reduce their alcohol intake, and it causes symptoms like intense tremors, confusion, hallucinations, high blood pressure, and rapid heart rate. Full disclosure, I always thought DTs was short for detox. So anytime I heard Potter say, "No, she's got a case of the DTs," yeah, I thought it was detox.
Yeah, boy. All those symptoms, that's a Saturday morning for me. I don't know. Is that really about something serious?
You got the DTs.
Huh.
Have a drink. You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Wait a minute. What is this?
Our own version of beef stew, man.
It looks awful.
No more than usual.
It's got things in it. Ah! Come on, you let me go! Get off! Calm down! Don't touch me! Get away! What is it? What's the matter? They're everywhere! They're everywhere!
Stop it!
They're everywhere!
Califoraldehyde, 5 cc's.
What's with her? She's nuts.
No, she's not. She's got the DTs.
She didn't seem drunk.
You don't get them when you're drunk. You get them when you're drying out.
I'm sorry, sir. I would have told you if I'd known it was this bad.
I know. Obviously, she fooled a lot of people, but worst of all, herself.
I'm so cool. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
See, I told you I could do it, Margaret.
I'm keeping my word.
John says a funny episode, or at least part of it, is how Pierce and Winchester conspire to get even with BJ in Bottoms Up. Not sure how BJ and his cot were moved into the nurse's tent, but love the lines Machiavelli would have been proud. He who lives by the joke shall die by the joke. I have used this in conversation on occasion, and when Charles takes the photos outside the tent and says, "Say cheesecake."
Max, give me a knife.
Major, don't. It's not worth it.
For my pants. Attention all personnel. It would appear that old Dark Funny Pants is at it again, and once again, I am the butt of his joke. Please. We must all remember that the poor man is demented. He's obviously suffering from a fanny fetish. Thank you all very much. You are indeed a source of inspiration during these difficult times. I assure you, I shall endure. Thank you, Max. Thank you. Klinger, I will need another pair of trousers. Perhaps several. No telling how often I'll be torpedoed by Rear Admiral Pierce.
Next up is The Red, White, Blues, written by Dan Wilcox and Thad Mumford, directed by Gabrielle Beaumont. This is the first episode where a factoid appears at the end of the epilogue, talking about how Primaquine was originally just shown to have adverse effects to African Americans, but then later research showed that it did have an effect on Caucasians of Mediterranean descent. That's why Klinger and Goldman both have adverse reactions to that medication.
If Potter walks in here and sees this mess, he's going to blow his stack. Is that what you want?
No, sir.
Well, then stop sulking around like a little kid.
I am not, sir. I'm just so tired. I can't seem to get going.
I bet you'd be able to get going to Tokyo, though, wouldn't you? Look, I'm going to do something I very rarely do. I'm going to give you a direct order. Fix those reports and clean up this room. You understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm really going to get with it, so you can count on it.
That's my sleepy time, pal. I'll keep Potter out of here while you rebuild this disaster area.
There's a moment during Colonel Potter's physical, Hawkeye removes a blood pressure cuff, and it has Velcro. The first patent for Velcro wasn't granted until 1955 in Switzerland.
My goodness. Wow. Well, but that doesn't mean that it couldn't have been used. It was the patent that wasn't granted, but it may have been around.
Oh, okay. So they got their hands on some like black market Velcro.
Well, yeah, or sample Velcro. And then finally the patent came through, because it could have taken 3-4 years for the patent to come through. Thank you.
Good point. And Klinger makes this statement: I never pulled anything on the job, and I would never pull anything on the Colonel.
Oh.
Really?
Gee,
Come on. You poke needles in a little Colonel Potter doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
You know, these things get by you, you know? They get by the writers because they're lazy and they're drinking and they don't know. I'm sorry, writer. I'm just kidding, everybody. I'm kidding, writers. I love the writers. I have 2 writers in the car, so I love them.
I sent Goldman for those. Where is he?
Over there, Major.
Goldman, this is no time for a coffee break.
Sorry, Major. I don't know what it is. I'm just so tired, and my back is killing me.
Well, you're in the way here. You go rest in the changing room, and as soon as the doctor is free, I'll have him go take a look at you.
Sure, you believe him. I got the same symptoms, and I'm a Goldberg.
It's not the same. His back hurts, and he's tired, and...
Uh-huh. It is the same, only I had it first.
Well, I never know when to believe you with all the stunts you've pulled.
I never pulled anything on the job, and I never would ever pull anything on the Colonel.
I'm sorry, Klinger. Go on and rest in the changing room.
All right, we're in the home stretch here. Next up is Bless You, Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Written by Dan Wilcox and Thad Mumford, directed by Nell Cox, who was the only woman to direct more than one episode of MASH.
Didn't know that.
Notable guest star Alan Arbus, returning as Dr. Sidney Freeman, his only appearance this season. You know, I told you earlier how Joel Brooks's character would take me out of the episode.
I'm with you here.
Hawkeye sneeze. No human being sneezes like Hawkeye.
No.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody even put together a supercut of Hawkeye's sneezes on YouTube. I'm not going to play that for you now. I'm just going to put the link in the show notes if you would like to listen to Hawkeye's sneezes. But man,
Yeah.
I'm all for trying things as an actor, but whew.
Yeah. Now, who directed it? Oh, Nell Cox.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, maybe somebody could have said, Ellen, just take a hair off of that. Just a little, just a tiny bit. Because, it got to me. I wanted to say, come on. All right already.
Yeah.
But again, you go for it. You commit.
Yeah.
Every sneeze, he went for it and committed. And, we went, oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, I agree. Anyway.
But, sneezes aside, listeners enjoyed this episode.
Of course they would. John says, it may not be the strongest episode, but in the context of the entire series, it foreshadows the events in the final episode. A repressed memory manifests itself in uncontrolled sneezing in this episode and a psychiatric breakdown in the finale. Aha! Very astute.
Costa says, the realization of Hawk's story makes me cry every time. I will say, aside from the sneezing, that big moment where he realizes what he's dealing with is a powerful moment.
It is. It is. And Anne says, this is so hard. There are many great ones. One of my favorites is Bless You, Hawkeye. It reminds us that smells or small things from the past can come back in ways you might not think of. It's those mental landmines. When Sidney says that little battlefields can do the most damage, Sidney is right. Little things can leave huge wounds that come back years and years later. Wow. This is like we're on Dr. Phil. I want to lay down and talk about my past.
Put my fishing rod down on this blue wooden seat in the middle of the boat. And I stood up to get some more bait. And then I went into the water. And I remembered there was laughing right before I went in. And I didn't hear anything. And then I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't see anything. There was just all this water. And I remember I tried to scream and nothing came out. And then this hand came down and grabbed me by the collar and yanked me out.
But how did you get into the water?
I stood up. And he was kidding around. He pushed me! Why did he do that? I loved him! I hated him! Why did he push me? I got back in the boat. He said to me, "You're so clumsy. If it wasn't for me, you'd be dead." And I thanked him.
Next up is Blood Brothers, written by David Pollack and Elias Davis, directed by Harry Morgan, featuring notable guest stars. First, we have Ray Middleton. He played Cardinal Reardon in this. Big man.
Mm-hmm.
Not only was he an acclaimed actor of stage and screen, but he was also an opera singer.
Wow.
And that deep voice of his, I can believe that. He co-starred with Ethel Merman in the Broadway production of Annie Get Your Gun and with Mary Martin on Broadway in South Pacific.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
July 3rd, 1940, at the New York World's Fair, was declared Superman Day. Superman was featured at the World of Tomorrow exhibit as the Man of Tomorrow. And at the event, Ray Middleton, Cardinal Reardon, became the first actor to ever portray Superman in public.
Wow. How about them potatoes? No kidding.
And his final role was of Henry's father on Too Close for Comfort.
Hey, I was in 2 shows with him.
Yes.
I was in Too Close for Comfort too. I'll be darned.
But as magnificent as Ray Middleton is, and his career is just astounding, overshadowed by this new guy that came in to play Private Gary Sturgis, the guy named Patrick Swayze. This was one of his first screen credits. And of course, he went on to great acclaim in The Outsiders and Roadhouse and Dirty Dancing and Ghost. And sadly, his character, he is told that he has leukemia in the episode. He passes away in real life from pancreatic cancer in September of 2009. He was only 57.
The nurse has been in here 5 times taking blood samples. When I ask her why, she starts tap dancing about it being standard procedure.
Just cross-matching.
Pretty soon my dipstick's gonna come up dry and I won't have anything left for Dan.
We just wanted to run some tests.
Since when do you run blood tests for a broken arm? What kind of place is this?
Well, happily you won't have to put up with us too much longer. We're sending you to Tokyo General.
Tokyo General? What for?
Oh, you'll love it. They got nurses there who'll give you such a sponge bath you'll have to take a cold shower afterwards.
I don't want to go to Tokyo General. I want to stay here with Dan and I want to give him my blood.
Dan's going to be just fine. We got all the blood we need.
But you said I could give him some. What's going on here?
Look, Gary.
Gary? All of a sudden we're on a first-name basis, huh? Doc, is there something wrong with me?
We found a problem with some of your blood tests, and we want to double-check it in Tokyo.
Can't you guys ever give anybody a straight answer? What the hell is this all about?
We're not sure. We think you may have leukemia.
God almighty.
We have a couple of good Igor moments in this, and there's the one where Father Mulcahy asks Igor to take down the picture of Mona in the Officers Club. It's an illustration, very vivid depiction of a young lady in various
scantily
clad. Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mulcahy asks him if you can take down Mona, and I don't think Igor takes him down.
I don't want to do it because I get my butt kicked. Something like that.
Yeah.
Shirley's seen the show, and Shirley says, Blood Brothers is my pick. It's rare for pop culture to get the tone and details right on religious matters, let alone to be so insightful about what would sensitize the conscience of someone like Father Mulcahy. Not that there's anyone like him. The chemistry between William Christopher and a very young Patrick Swayze gets me tearful every time. Father Mulcahy helped me find my call to ministry. Wow, that's pretty interesting.
John, another John, says, love Blood Brothers, one of the few episodes that make me feel I may shed a tear. This may be William Christopher's best episode. You literally see him turn on a dime, going from venting frustration about Rizzo to comforting Hawkeye about Sturgis's leukemia diagnosis. Then we hear his mass where each he becomes an I, and Cardinal Reardon tells Mulcahy, you're a tough act to follow.
Peter says, my favorite season 9 episode has to be Blood Brothers. Alan Alda has to tell a patient he has leukemia. Then the Archbishop comes to MASH, and William Christopher gives a great speech at the end. Also, a drunk Jeff falls over backwards in the presence of the Archbishop.
Great scene.
Great scene. I just loved doing that. Not only did I love falling over like that, I loved being drunk and I loved falling over like that, but I also loved it when Colonel Potter says, clean up here, and he just walks over me. That was funny stuff.
Cardinal? Corporal?
Captain? Chaplain. Corporal.
Captain? Colonel? Cardinal? Corporal? Show the Cardinal to his quarters.
I thought that before retiring we might visit your officers' club.
Oh? Well, unfortunately, that establishment is closed for the evening.
Oh.
So our personnel might spend their time in more contemplative pursuits.
I still don't get Potter's joke. I think the old bird is finally losing his martyr.
Well, let's get it straight from the old bird's mouth. Colonel, see if I've got this right. This farm girl invites 3 guys over to her house. A Boy Scout, a lumberjack, and a...
Well, I still don't get it. Can I assume from this that the Officers' Club has now reopened?
However, I'm afraid refreshments are out of the question. He's our bartender.
The penultimate episode for Season 9, The Foresight Saga, written by Dennis Koenig and directed by Charles S. Dubin. Notable guest stars, we have Philip Sterling as Dr. Myron Bud Herzog. He had starring roles on the soap opera The Doctors. He was on Sisters and St. Elsewhere. He also guest starred on The Golden Girls, Heart to Heart, Different Strokes, Barney Miller, LA Law, The A-Team, and so on. We have Rummel Moore as Park Sung, the young Korean who helps them with vegetables and gets new glasses. He is best known for the role of Lucky in Big Trouble in Little China. He also guest starred in Fantasy Island, Magnum P.I., Knight Rider, and the film Mask. And apparently he has his own law practice in Hollywood. And we have a guest appearance via letter from Walter Eugene, formerly Radar O'Reilly, gentleman farmer.
Dear Colonel, this is Walter, formerly Radar O'Reilly, writing you from Ottumwa, Iowa, U.S. of A. It's kind of funny being a civilian human again. There's no one to give me orders, except Mum, of course. Ha ha.
Well, he certainly hasn't lost his savage wit.
Guess what? I'm making the farm a great big success. It's going to be our best year ever, wheat-wise. I've got corn coming out of my ears, and I look to make a pretty penny. I guess you really do reap what you sow. He spelled it S-E-W.
No, of course he did.
What's wrong with that?
Sir, I really miss you people, but sometimes I get so busy I forget to. Then when I remember, I miss you all twice as much. And every night I pray for this police action war to get over, so you can all come back to the people you love. Well, I've got to get off this letter and on the tractor, so give my love to Hawkeye and everyone else, even Major Winchester. I bet he makes a face when he hears that. Anyway, no matter how successful I get, I'll always be your Radar. Sincerely yours, in long-distance affection, Walter O'Reilly, gentleman farmer.
One little note here. This is from the Internet Movie Database. According to Larry Gelbart, this script started life as a pilot to a potential Radar spinoff, focusing on the young Koreans' interactions with Americans in post-war America. When Aftermath was created with a similar plot line, this pilot was scrapped and Walter was written, and Walter was an abomination.
And Walter was an abomination, ladies and gentlemen.
You can see it on YouTube, but I don't recommend it. Oh,
yeah.
Boy, it's bad.
You know, you think about how all these incredibly talented people can make Walter. I couldn't figure that out.
I know.
I don't know.
Wait a minute, Igor. What's that green stuff? We had roast beef yesterday.
Folks, this is a treat that can't be beat. Fresh-made coleslaw.
Come on, nothing's fresh around here. Even the air's a day old. Oh.
Oh! I don't believe it. Something's not rotten in Korea.
This tastes as good as the slaw Mildred makes back home for picnics. Ants crawl all the way from Arkansas just to sample it.
Incredible. What's more, it's edible.
Where'd you get the fixins, Igor?
Some Korean kid brought it in, and some radishes and cucumbers, too. Said he owed us a favor. His name was Park Sung.
Park Sung. Remember? Refugee family from up north. Their village was bombed out in a raid.
Yeah, the grandmother had pneumonia. We took care of her.
Sounds like a fair deal. We save her from death. He saves us from lunch.
The final episode, The Life You Save, written by John Rappaport and Alan Alda, and directed by Alan Alda, because they couldn't get another director, so they had to make, Alan, will you do this? We can't find him. Oh, all right, I'll do it.
They ran out of directors. Said, Alan, come here.
This had notable guest stars like Val Basiglio as the cook. Yeah, the cook.
Mm-hmm.
Sergeant Salvatore Pernelli, best known in film for playing John Travolta's father in Saturday Night Fever, I'll have you know. That's a pretty good part. And on television for playing restaurant owner Danny Tovo on Quincy M.E. His final television role was Murph Lupo in 3 episodes of The Sopranos, one of my favorite television series.
Great series, yeah.
Oh, boy.
We also had Meshach Taylor as an orderly. He has like 2 lines in the episode. He's best known as Anthony on Designing Women, for which he was nominated for a Supporting Actor Emmy. He was also known for his portrayal of Hollywood Mantros in the Mannequin films.
Can I see you outside for a moment, Doctor?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Yes?
Are you all right?
Perfectly.
Nothing's bothering you?
Absolutely nothing.
Then what the hell is the matter with you? Every time I go into post-op, you're hovering over Markham like a ghoul. That's some graveside manner
You'll recall I'm partly responsible for his being alive right now.
Then let's let him rest in peace.
Let me ask you a question, Dr. Schweitzer. Can you honestly stand there and tell me that you've never wondered what it was like?
What was like?
What that boy went through right there. He was dead.
Uh-huh.
Haven't you the slightest bit of curiosity about what lies beyond?
No, I figure I'll find out soon enough.
Well, you may need to cloak yourself in denial, but I am not afraid to face up to the harshest reality of all.
Let me give you another harsh reality, Doctor. Markham is my patient. You stay the hell away from him.
This one has an interesting story. The Life You Save was not supposed to be the final episode of the season. This episode, The Life You Save, was supposed to have been broadcast on March 30th, 1981. But earlier that same day, President Reagan was shot in an assassination attempt. And of course, one of the major plot elements of this episode has Major Winchester having a brush with death when a sniper's bullet passes through his hat. So, in a last-minute decision, CBS pulled the episode and aired a rerun of Cementing Relationships. And then they saved The Life You Save for the finale on May 4th, 1981.
I think that's a nice thing CBS did. That was a very difficult thing to have happen to a president. And for them to have done that, there was something that very similar was a good move, I think.
I was very young in 1981.
So was I. I was extremely young.
I was 6.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. And
But-
we'll be back next. Okay.
But I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember the news, the special report and interrupting everything and showing him being shoved into the limousine. And I mean, I have a vivid memory of that.
Yeah, really. Yeah. That's a good point. Remember that shot? He'd just been shoved in that limousine and you see the power and the environment that those Secret Service guys are in and have they jump and leap. And the guy, he pulled his coat off and he pulled the gun out and wow, what a.
If you've never seen it, and I don't, I'm not saying that, hey, you want to see a man shot, but if you've never seen it, you can see footage like on YouTube of the attempt.
Yeah.
It is something, how quickly everything happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
But back to the episode.
Yes.
This is the first time we found out that Charles had a sibling other than his sister. Alan Alda earned a Directors Guild of America Award for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in a Comedy Series for this episode. And this is something, too, that I meant to check and ran out of time. This is something that pops up every now and then in an episode. They will take old audio from previous episodes when there's a lot of chaos and a lot of things going on at once. So you have all these wounded soldiers coming in and they're doing triage and you can hear Trapper John say, "Come on, Frank, easy." Because they've used old audio and looped it in. And of course, by now, Trapper and Frank are long gone from the show.
Oops.
And of course, this features another powerful performance by David Ogden Stiers.
I can't feel anything in my legs.
You're trying to hang on. We're going to get you to a MASH unit, and they'll patch you up just fine.
I don't know whether I can, Doc. I feel real weird.
Just stay with it.
Doc? He's still there?
I'm here.
I can't see you. Hold my hand.
I am holding it.
I can't feel it. Oh, God, I'm gonna die.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What is happening to you? Can you feel anything? Do you see anything? Please, I have to know. What is happening to you?
I smell bread.
I don't understand.
Andy says, I absolutely love The Life You Saved. It's one of the episodes I remember watching when I was a kid. I think it disturbed me because I didn't expect to see a character like Charles given a bleak storyline like this one, and the fact that his plot ends with so little closure changed the way I thought about TV shows, which up until then I assumed were always tied up with a neat little bow. David Ogden Stiers is phenomenal here too. For those who complain that MASH's more serious episodes were overly sentimental and repetitive, The Life You Saved would be my go-to counter-argument.
And Sally Ann says, The Life You Save, where we see Winchester battle childhood memories, BJ trying but failing to help him, was also very real too. I also like that there's no wrap-up, easy solution to that plot. As in real life, we carry our traumas with us.
Season 9 seems to be crammed with a lot of thought-provoking issues that previously were, touched on here and there. But boy, all of season 9 seems to have a very heavy focus on humanity and its behavior, I think.
And I think that's one of the reasons that some people sour on the later episodes of MASH. There was more wackiness in the early episodes. And in the last few seasons, it became more serious. There was still a lot of humor, obviously, but it became more serious. And some people prefer the earlier seasons because they just want to laugh. So I can see how people might feel that way about the later seasons. I personally really enjoy the later seasons. But if you can look at it overall from season 1 to even up to here to season 9, I think it's a natural progression because these people have been through a lot. Not just the actors over 9 seasons, but the characters in the war have been through so much. It kind of makes sense that it would start leaning towards deeper, darker, more serious situations and topics.
Yeah, absolutely. And I understand the two positions. I get it. You start watching a show called MASH and you're laughing and you're seeing all these people do all these fun, wacky things, although it's set in an army hospital. Still, there's all that humor around him, and you start to fall in love with the characters and you start to fall in love with the humor. And then as it progresses, and the middle part of it is kind of a little bit of both. And then when it, starts the latter seasons, starts to get more intense about some of the things that we're watching, I can see where people will go, yeah, like you say, would just kind of want to laugh. I just, I come home, I don't want to worry about stuff anymore. I just want to have a good time and laugh. And I don't want to worry about, life and how to solve my problems and all that kind of stuff. So you can see the both ends of it. I agree with you. I like the latter seasons because it does provide a larger platform of human behavior that is kind of, to me, interesting anyway. I kind of accept both positions as true and valuable.
So with that, we bring season 9 to a close.
Yeah.
Now, typically I would reveal my top 3 episodes of the season, and I give you an opportunity to say if there were any episodes that really stood out to you too. I think I know what your answer is going to be, but I'll ask again, Jeff, were there any episodes that were your favorite or stood out to you from this season?
Where I fell over, the one that I fell
There it is. I knew it. I knew it.
You knew it. Well, it's a great show. I did enjoy the show, and I thought, Willem Christopher was wonderful, and he was an adorable, wonderful person, and great to be around, and great to work with, and a good friend. And but just in that moment of falling over and being able to play drunk and pass out, and make that fall absolutely perfect.
It was.
It just worked comedically for me anyway. It worked, and I'm not blowing my own horn. I watch it. I'm watching it just like a different person, and this guy falls over like he does, and I just laugh my butt off. So that's a real favorite show.
All right.
All of them had wonderful moments. I didn't like all of them, but certainly all of them had moments that stand out as really great television.
Well, and of course, there was the scene with you and Charles and the fan in the mess tent.
Yes, yeah.
And I know you get this question a lot, but I'm asking anyway. What was it like working with the fan?
Oh, gosh. Talk about diva. Holy moly. Is my motor right? Am I oiled? Is there enough grease? How's the switch work? Where's my plug?
Right?
Yes. Just went on and on and on. It's just, we didn't get out of there until like 9:00 that night. Talk about diva behavior. Whew.
Sorry for bringing that up.
I said, I'm never working with a fan again, period.
Okay, here are my 3 favorite episodes from this season.
Okay.
If you've listened to previous episodes, you're probably not going to be surprised by my number 1, but in the number 3 slot, this was kind of tough. There are 2 definite favorites from this season. Third, I kind of went back and forth, but I'm going to go with No Sweat. which of course is the episode where you had the fan in the mess tent.
Yes.
I like a day in the life episodes of MASH, and this was it was a night in the life because it took place overnight. Everybody was hot and sweaty and doing various things. My number 2 spot, Death Takes a Holiday. It's just a powerful episode. And again, it all comes down to that moment between Charles and Klinger. Just a really, really great episode. And my number 1 spot, A War for All Seasons, is my favorite MASH episode, period, stop, overall. That's it. Yes, it is riddled with all kinds of inconsistencies and timeline and all that, but it is so great. And I'm so thankful we were able to talk to Dan Wilcox, and I was able to tell him personally how much I love that episode.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great treat for me to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
This is also the episode, I've talked about this before too. You gifted me one of your scripts from the series. You asked me what was my favorite episode, and I told you A War for All Seasons. And lo and behold, I have Jeff's script for A War for All Seasons.
You have it? Because I've been looking at it for.
I mean, you sent it to me. I didn't realize you wanted it back.
Oh, no, that's okay. Margaret, we can't sell it on eBay. Forget it. Okay, why is it your favorite? What about it?
I just, again, what we said earlier, it's a format busting episode. Instead of over a couple of days or over a week, it just spans the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Every plot works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I'm a huge baseball fan, so the baseball part of it is a thing. Great Igor moment with the corn. I love it. And everything centers around the Sears catalog.
Yes.
That's a thing from my past. You know, I remember when the Sears catalog would come out and I would just sit and look through it. There's just some nostalgia there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's perfectly bookended with Colonel Potter's famous New Year's speech.
Yeah.
If you can get past the inconsistencies with the MASH timeline,
Mm-hmm.
it works as a standalone episode. And it's one of those episodes that you could show somebody who has never watched MASH. You could show them that episode and know that they don't have to know a lot about the characters going in, because we get to see each character, what they do and what they're like throughout the course of a year.
Yeah, that's great. Interesting. And 2 things. I'm glad that you, when you mentioned you got a chance to tell that to Dan Wilcox specifically. That's wonderful. Have you sat down and read the script and compared it to the show? And
I have.
Yeah.
There were very few inconsistencies.
Mm-hmm.
What you saw in the script was pretty much what you saw on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the stain is on the front of the script.
Well,
Because,
good. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll be right
I'll
back.
put a picture of it in the show notes so you can see. There's a couple of stains that won't come out in the cover of this. But, you know, in my heart, I'm just hoping that maybe you spilled something on it from the mess tent.
It's creamed corn. That's exactly what it is. What else would it be?
It could be. It could be.
You know, season 9, I've been watching him. I watched a few of these lately, but I just, remember the very first episode where the boy dies. Hawkeye tries to save him and can't, and he dies. That was a very, very down episode. That hurt.
Yeah.
That really hurt. I was really stunned by that because I thought, he was going to eventually get him in the Jeep and drive back and he was going to save him. But he didn't. He died.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, that's here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
And we're off.
And we're off. Yeah. We're never coming back to the wacky stuff.
Thank you for coming along with us on this journey through season 9. We will be back in approximately 3 years with the season 10 recap. Until then, we'll pepper a few episodes in between. But this was fun. Thank you, everybody who sent us their thoughts on these different episodes. We really appreciate your input.
Yeah, some of them were all terrific. Some of them were very insightful. My gosh, and spent a lot of time thinking about it. So really, really impressive. So thank you. Yeah, that was great.
We think you're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a smart bunch of people listening to us.
Looking for great things in the coming year. We will be back with a new episode here in a couple of weeks. And until next time, here's looking up your old address.
Here's to the new year. May she be a damn sight better than the old one. And may we all be home before she's over.
Yeah.